I started the patches about mid-November or maybe the third week in November. I just kind of want to run down my list of things that are like that I want to heal, that I've been working on for decades: breast cancer survivor, acute infectious hepatitis A, 8 surgeries, Crohn's disease, early childhood trauma with a lot of emotional depression, anxiety, weight issues, high blood and fluctuating blood pressure. I left heel neuropathy, meniscus tears in my knee, for which I've had 2 stem cell procedures, with the
Mhm.
very painful, eye floaters, herpes on my face after I had adult chicken pox, inflammation, gas, horrible body odor, clenched teeth, liver bladder pain, chronic
Wow.
fatigue. And, so that's just a little bit of what I came in with.
Right.
And I'm 69, and I Bimi asked me to do a testimonial, I think about maybe 2 or 3 Sundays ago, and I said I didn't have any positive results, and I was actually disappointed about that. And she
Yeah.
said maybe I should focus on just using X39 for a month instead of, I was patching with everything, like I was totally patched all over. And
Right.
so I tried that, but I added Nirvana because of my emotional state. And then at night I use Silent Nights with the Eon patch. And
Right.
my story was about 2 weeks ago, I started getting a herpes outbreak right here on my chin. And what happens with this is it goes all the way up my face into my eye. And I
Yeah.
also get a swollen gland. And when it starts, I've tried everything and I can never shorten the at least 10 days of exhaustion and
Mm.
incredible pain in my face. And I felt that starting. And I called Carrie, who's my sponsor, and she suggested putting one X39 and one glutathione on either side, but
Mhm.
I had already had an X39 on all day. So I just put the glutathione right on the area that started to, look like a pimple was erupting. And
Right.
when I woke up the next morning, there was no eruption, no pain in my face at all, no swollen gland. And it I patched for a couple of days with glutathione, 12 hours on, 12 hours off, and
Right.
the herpes never erupted. And to me, that was miraculous because I've been suffering this since I was 36 when I got chicken pox. I've
Right.
had this virus. I don't know if it's shingles or, it's the same thing. So
Yeah.
that's one thing that was like, I'm complaining like, oh, I'm still feeling this and that. But that was like really kind of miraculous for me. So that was really lovely. And then the other thing for me is I've had neuropathy on the bottom of my left foot, and that's gone. And ever since I had breast cancer, for which I got surgery and radiation,
Yeah.
I've had a lot of pain in my like liver or gallbladder area that just never seemed to subside. And so I had that cancer surgery like 15 or so years ago. And I remember doing yoga and bending down and it hurt. I can't even feel it anymore. That's
Wow.
like, so, those are maybe not what I was looking for. I'm looking to like lose the 30 pounds that I've gained and
Yeah.
have that happiness that Marcy talks about,
Right.
and, but these are, I think, very important things, also, I haven't had the eye floaters.
Mhm.
So things are changing. And even when I had the stem cell injections, my doctor told me that it may not take, if it took at all, it may not take for 6 months. And
Right.
so, my commitment is to continue this for 6 months for myself and for I have 2 little dogs and I patch them with fresh X39s every day. And my husband gets a fresh X39 every day.
So that your stem cell injections, those were recently?
No, the last one was about 3 years ago. I think maybe 3 years ago and 5 years ago. I was unable to walk. The meniscus, I had multiple meniscus tears in one knee that was so severe I couldn't walk. And I was able to get back to walking, but I always had pain and inflammation. And I can walk now without pain.
Uh-huh.
So, it's like we live in the woods and we hike. And so if I'm out for like 45 minutes and come back, I don't have to ice or do anything. It's just like, I don't even think about it. So,
So with the stem cell injections, without asking how much they cost, which I know
oh, you
they're
can ask. Mine were about 2,000 each. It was my own fat, so that I had
oh,
liposuction and then my own red blood cells.
okay. So
Very painful. Yeah.
So how effective were they, 1 to 10?
Maybe 5,
5. Okay.
because I was able to walk again, and I couldn't walk for that whole year before.
Okay. So then the strategy that Beamy gave you, which was don't wear all the patches at once, that actually was effective for you.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
And then of course your neuropathy, I think you mentioned, that's better. And what were the other ones?
The liver pain, the
Oh, liver.
chronic pain that I had, because I had radiation there. The breast cancer was very deep in the wall, so they had it like I'm sorry I got radiation, but regardless, they had to use like 3 beams to go deep, and I think it affected my thyroid and my liver. And I
Yeah.
already had, acute infectious hepatitis A, so my liver's already been compromised. So,
Oh,
the other thing is I am not waking up full of gas and burping. Okay, so there's a lot of things actually going on.